Hello, guys. So this morning I wrote an affirmation that I actually strongly connected to, and I always do that. I always kind of write for myself first, but it was almost this surge of energy around connecting with who we are. So at our essence, at our core, and to take steps that's going to kind of bring about changes in our lives that we actually want. So with that, it's everyone has their own personal journey, so everyone is on their own path, and every single path looks different. But in a way, like, I feel that it's like we all kind of come back to ourselves, or we all come back to what that ultimate expression of who we are. Now, when we do that, when we start in that journey or start to make changes and to say, okay, I'm actually going to create the life I want now, and I really, really want to make decisions that are based on me feeling good. So when we make decisions or do things that we're feeling good, then we feel empowered. Then that's the biggest indication that we're actually on our path, that we're aligned with who we are. And I suppose that's the emotional intelligence, or that's the emotional guidance system that's actually saying you're right where you're supposed to be. Now, when we start to make changes, especially with big changes like career, relationships, or just even this perspective shift that happens internally, then it can be very hard to explain to another person what we're feeling and what we feel guided to do, because it comes in as this knowing. It doesn't come in the logic. It comes in as this feeling. It comes in as this intuition. And I suppose in the time where we feel we're guided to do something, to look for validation or to look for acknowledgement from another person, or to think that the ability to explain it is a good measure of how valid it is, isn't really true. Because our deepest kind of desires, our deepest feelings, they don't really translate well into words. So our best chance is to really just feel what we're guided to do, what we really want to do in our lives, and to move with it. And once we start to move with it, that we feel that we're empowered, because we're after unlocking or just coming into ourselves, and we feel good, and using that as the indicator to being in the right place and to having a life that we want, because that's ultimately what we all want. We want to just feel free. We want to have this freedom, personal freedom, in terms of internally this mind that's kind of aligned with our own feelings, with our own experience, and then also with people around us, relationships, the people that get us, people that respect us, that love us. But it starts with a decision to take responsibility for our lives, and to realize that we're responsible, or we're capable of creating a life that we really want, even if we haven't done it, even if we've postponed or delayed this dream for 15-20 years plus. But it's just to come into this place of feeling good and say, okay, yes, that's a huge grandiose dream, but what could I do? How could I explore that? How could I open up the possibility of moving towards that and see what it feels like? And once we're in that flow, once we're actually taking steps, and we feel, oh, this feels better, this is like, oh my God, I'm coming back into my own, then we know we're actually on that path. And that our ability, again, to explain it to another person isn't a good indicator of how successful it's going to be. It's not anything got to do with it. It's just this feeling, and certain people around us, they'll just know. And it's like, when we have this deep desire, they'll say, good on you. They'll just know from us that we're moving in a direction that makes us happy. And the more we do it, the more responsibility we take for our lives, the better we'll feel, and we'll start to notice huge positive changes in our life, because we'll see the fruitions of actually dreaming, allowing that dream, and accepting it when it comes into our reality. So it's just coming back to the simplest terms of listening to our body, listening to our mind, listening to our gut, our heart, and moving in the direction that it's actually drawing us in, or that it's giving us that impulse to move in. And once we do it, once we're on the path, we just feel lighter for it. We feel more free, and then you just continue with it. You keep going, because no one or nothing is going to bend you from it, because the feeling, the surge, the experience is so powerful that nothing will take you away from it, because that's what we're here to do. So it's living our truth. It's coming back to ourselves in our personal journey and just being strong in it, because what else is there to do? Only be ourselves. So hope you enjoyed the message and have a nice day.